What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today we are back to wrap up March 2023. Man, it's been a couple of weeks, but I hope everybody out there is doing well. I'm doing good. Just insanely busy as always. But we'll get to that. But welcome. As I always say, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Daddy to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, and video games. So, y'all, your boy is tired. My legs are in shambles. But I wanted to just kind of catch up, talk a little bit, and just see how this episode goes. A lot of y'all that follow me on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, maybe have seen like some snippets of, the busyness that my schedule is. Though most of y'all that have listened to even some of my episodes, y'all know it's always something going on with family somewhere, and so yeah, I am just very glad that I have kind of, and this is something I'm gonna kind of touch on, of kind of a little bit of a topic in a little bit, but it's like I'm calling it the shackles of obligation and freeing myself from certain things. Certain unnecessary things, I should say. But all in all, things are good, things are positive, and I have kind of, in a way, and this won't be something I will really touch on today because this is going to be its own kind of episode, but there was a show I watched during these last couple of weeks called Space Brothers. Like I said, for any of y'all that follow me on Twitter, I did a rare thing where I did a thread of my watch through of this show, which was 99 episodes, and then the manga is still going way past that. I think the manga is currently like at like volume, I want to say, volume 42 currently, and the anime goes up to volume 19. So I have a lot more ahead of me, but yeah, so that kind of took up a majority of my time, but I definitely do not regret it because that show just, I don't know, it was just, sometimes, you watch a show or play a game or read a book or something, in a moment in your life where it feels like, man, this is really impactful and this is really what I needed right now at this point in time. And so before I go on, just a little bit of like, the show itself is basically about these two brothers who grew up fascinated with space and wanted to someday become astronauts. And so that is what the show is, the younger brother became an astronaut first, and then the older brother had just like a regular job, but lost his job, but ended up, through the help of his family and friends and stuff, getting into the program to start his journey towards becoming an astronaut like his brother. So it's just like a really good show. Like I said, I'm gonna touch more on that in a separate thing soon. That's gonna be its own dedicated episode. But so with that being said, I kind of, and I've kind of been doing this more and more slowly, whatever, especially with me taking as many breaks as I have from doing the podcast and content creation and stuff in general. And so, yeah, so one of the things, like I said, just this whole notion of what I mean by like the shackles of obligation, and I'm kind of more so speaking to it for like a creator standpoint slash a person who consumes a lot of media and stuff, um, I learned during my watch through of Space Brothers to just let stuff go, to not feel obligated to have to keep up with all these shows, all these manga, all these games and stuff, whatever. And it's like I just took my hands off of the media steering wheel and just wasn't bothered by things. There was a couple of things that I was like, okay, yes, I'm gonna for sure keep up with, like Angel Next Door or Campfire Cooking, Vinland Saga, or I'm gonna keep up with, of course, reading One Piece and stuff like that. But otherwise, it was like, no, I found something in Space Brothers that has my undivided attention. So much so that, like I said, I made a whole freaking thread on it where I was just like tweeting, sharing thoughts and stuff after certain episodes or big moments, or whatever. And I was like, I do not want to lose that because I feel like I got to stay caught up on every single show or every single manga or whatever just to be part of some, arbitrary conversation. It's like yeah, of course, it is cool to be part of the hype and part of the conversation with all these things, but there is something to being in your own little bubble, experiencing something that you want to experience, and then bringing that to people and share it. And that's kind of, what I hope to do whenever I do my recording and stuff for Space Brothers, because this is a series that I see what people talked about. Because, like, as soon as I posted that I was watching it or whatever, so many people was like, yo, this is super dope. I'm glad more people watching it or whatever. And I discovered, even just like searching on YouTube and stuff, whatever, there's not many people, despite this anime coming out over 10 years ago, not many people talking about the anime or the manga or the series in general. And I am now a big supporter, evangelist of this series. But like I said, it was just a thing of just like being okay with, I guess, what's the term of FOMO, fear of missing out, with a lot of these conversations. Because a big one that might surprise a lot of people is that I fell off, not because the show was bad or anything, whatever, but I just stopped keeping up with the new Trigun Stampede show. But if you would tell me back in January when it started, literally the day after my birthday, that I would not have already finished the show or whatever, I'd be like, that is insane. But it was just not a main priority for me, especially with my busy schedule and life and stuff right now. So I just let it build up, and especially because I know the GOAT Johnny Young Bosch is doing the dub. So I was like, maybe I'll just wait for just the dub to finish and then go and restart from the beginning that way, or whatever. But yeah, it was just like a lot of stuff. I put down Hogwarts Legacy for the time being. I still haven't finished Hi-Fi Rush and so many other things. But that is okay. It is okay to not be part of the zeitgeist and the conversations and everything, whatever. Because there is something about that purity of experiencing something within a bubble, like I've mentioned before, like kind of like my life before being a content creator. And I always feel like, oh man, I watched this show, I played this game, I read this book, I did this thing. Okay, where's my microphone? Let me scramble and put something together to upload or whatever. And it's like, for what? I've gone back to, and I mentioned this last episode in my 2-year anniversary kind of like look back episode, that refocusing myself on the things I want to do, when and how I want to do it, the things I want to watch, read, play, experience, whatever I want to do as I feel the urge to do them, not because of chasing the numbers and the views and the listens and all that stuff, whatever. Um, and that stuff mixed in with, and I had mentioned this the other day on Twitter, like every day lately, it feels like I want to spend less and less time on social media just because it is just always so much chaos and insanity going on, and people turning on each other, and it's like, okay, hey, we're all cool and stuff, whatever, and then it's like I get online and people are talking about somebody or something or a topic or whatever, and I'm like, oh wait, wait, so we're all not supposed to be cool with each other, or okay, I'm supposed to be angry with this thing, or it's just so much, just because it's just a constant stream of information, um and stuff. So because like there's even like times at work where like there's this old man at work that you know it might be a nice quiet day, things aren't too crazy busy at work and stuff, whatever, so I'm there, I got my headphones on, I might be watching a YouTube video while chipping away at a little project or something, whatever, on one of my other screens, and all of a sudden, I just hear, "Get out of here! You can't be serious!" And of course, I'm not trying to pay attention because clearly he's doing something, or he saw something or whatever. But it's always like, "Hey, Robert, did you hear about this? This this crazy person killed all these people, or man, this person had an accident, or hey, this kid was involved in da da da." And it's like, no, no. If I want to know these things, I can easily go and seek out that information and stuff. But sometimes it is like, sometimes you have to be careful how you toss situations or information and stuff onto a person, because you might not know or have any idea of, like, what that person might already be going through in their personal life or whatever, that it's like, okay, work time is work time for me to get away from the craziness of my household and life and stuff, whatever, and just focus on my work and do whatever. And then it's just like, oh hey, mass crazy thing, whatever. Not even like a mass thing. Like this isn't like no big world news. It's just like, oh, this awful thing happened locally, whatever. And it's like, of course, it's cool to be obviously informed of what's going on and stuff, whatever. But sometimes it's like, some things I did not need to hear right now because I'm going through something, whatever, myself, and so now I just got this other thing tossed on top of it or whatever. Um, but yeah, it's like I've been like slowly, like, greatly reducing my time, especially like on Twitter and stuff, whatever. I've pretty much already abandoned Instagram to some sort. I check through that every now and then, but it's like just living life, getting absorbed in this show that I just randomly decided to finally check out a couple weeks ago, and then here I am, watched all 99 episodes in 10 days, um, and stuff. So, and but yeah, so I just wanted just to touch on that stuff, whatever, like a little bit, like I said, just to be like, it is okay to not be caught up. It is okay to not be part of every conversation, just because there is just so much stuff coming out, shows, games, books, manga, comics, whatever, that there is just no feasible way for us to consume it all. And honestly, I'm surprised sometimes as much as I'm able to consume, considering how busy my life and stuff is. But, if you really want to indulge in something, whatever, you'll find time, you'll squeeze it in somewhere and stuff. So, but yeah, so don't be afraid to step away from a show or whatever, to put it on pause, a game or whatever, because that does not mean that you hate the thing or that you're not having fun, but sometimes you're just not in the mood for certain things, and you don't want to force it. Like I said, like with me and doing these podcasts and stuff, now it's like being okay with not being here every week. I'm sure, maybe there is somebody, there are some of you out there that are like, man, where is Rob? I ain't seen nothing hit the podcast feed in weeks, whatever. Not even a manga review, nothing, whatever. But I also know that a lot of y'all know how busy my life and stuff is, and y'all are very understanding. Now, real quick, what I want to touch on, my comment I made earlier about my legs. So, Tuesday night at the track meet. Y'all know I've told y'all before these track meets have been brutal, and this is for the school, middle school. Cause I'm pretty much getting up, going to work early, doing my full shift at work, coming home, getting Vash from the after school thing with my wife, getting him to the house, and then heading to the track for my older three or whatever. And then pretty much being there from like 4 till 9, because I got three kids doing a variation, a combo of events. My oldest daughter, she does long distance, which is pretty much the first and the second to last events, the 2400 and the 1600. Then my middle daughter, she is doing the shorter distance stuff. She's doing the 200 solo, and she's also part of the 4x200 relay, and she's doing long jump. And then my oldest son, the one that does basketball, he is also started doing long jump, and he's part of a relay team as well. So I'm just there all night. So what happened specifically this Tuesday, and I noticed this like a time or so before, because and this is a habit I gotta break, but I just kind of be in the zone, just paying attention and stuff, just watching the races and stuff, whatever, to where it's not dawning on me that I am literally standing up for 4+ hours nonstop. I'm not even going to sit in the bleachers for a bit or whatever. I'm just standing. And so there's been a couple times where like I've got like a little bit of a cramp in one foot or whatever, but it kind of goes away. Y'all, in all 33 years of my life, this is the worst situation I have ever been in. Even back when I was younger and I was doing sports, running cross country, playing basketball, and I've had many Charlie horses and cramps and stuff, whatever, but I've never had it to this degree to where literally in each of my feet were cramping. My calf muscles were tightening like a Charlie horse. Up around like my hip size and stuff, whatever, that was cramping up and stuff, whatever. So simultaneously, both legs, top to bottom, and multiple spots, whatever, was cramping up like crazy. And y'all, I was in so much pain. I was honestly scared to even try to get in my car because I was like, man, I know how bad a Charlie horse is. I do not want to catch no Charlie horse on the road. I was like, because luckily the track meet the last couple of last week, this week, and then the final one next week, luckily they're all here at my kids' school, which is literally around the corner. Like, if I really had to, I could walk there or whatever, and I have walked there before, but it is literally like a 3-minute drive, and that's only because you got to go around the block. There's no straight direct shot or whatever. But I'm also through whatever. I took a nice long soak in a Epsom salt bath, and that helped a lot. But I've still been having problems to where if I either sit for too long or I'm not on my feet enough, then the next time I stand up and I put some weight on my legs or whatever, now my calf muscles are like tightened. Yeah, it is like ridiculous. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this a thing? But yeah, and it's Thursday night. I'm recording this, and they're still like even me just like touching my calves now, they're just like tender, and so I'm like, yo, this sucks. but but speaking of my kids, once again, everybody did good. The school as a whole did good and dominated, but my kids specifically, oldest daughter, of course, uncontested in the 2400 and the 1600, no competition. Other daughter, I think her team got second in the 4x200. But individually, she got first in the 200 meter, and she also got second in the long jump. She only lost to her teammate, which I'm like, hey, we'll take, a close friend of yours over, somebody from another school. Um, and then what? I think my son got third in the long jump as well, and I think they got second place. I think in the 4x400 meter. I don't remember. But yeah, so track doing good. We did have a funny moment. I think it was like last week. Yeah, last week because my daughter's coaches and stuff from her AAU stuff that she's been doing since she was 5 years old came to the track meet or whatever to watch my daughter, and then there's a lot of her teammates from her AAU team go to other schools within the district. So it's kind of cool seeing my daughter's AAU teammates kind of at their respective middle schools or whatever, all at this location or whatever. But so just scheduling life stuff happened or whatever. So I got there a little bit late. I got there right when the 2400 meter finished or whatever. And of course, my daughter's been undefeated all season. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be another easy win. So I get there. And one of the other parents, I'm like, hey, okay. I'm like, did they just, and they were like, they just finished or whatever. And then they were like, and she got second. I was like, she got what? And then they said, and it wasn't even close. The person in first place was pretty much a whole half a track ahead of her. And I was like, not saying that it could never happen, because of course I'm not saying like my daughter is like Usain Bolt, but a blowout, a blowout. And so, but luckily we found out afterwards that no, she didn't get second. She did get first. But what happened was they had the 7th and 8th grade girls running together in the same heat. But of course, they separated the times and stuff, whatever. And so once I found that out, I was like, okay, all right. Because I was about to say, I'm like, did we have a monster emerge from somewhere in the district? But it's like, no, it's a girl who's a whole grade and older than my daughter, whatever. That beat her, whatever, and stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so track season's going good. Next week is the final track meet. It is district for the championship. I don't know if they're gonna be getting medals or what, but I am very excited for this event. To see my kids show out and stuff. Now on the basketball side, my son, he had a fantastic weekend last weekend, to where so I'm calling him his original team, the one I talked about before, that he grew up with, that he started on when he was like 6 years old, 6, 7 years old. And they don't get to play together too often, whatever, just because of schedules and stuff, whatever. But they were in a 5-on-5 tournament over the weekend. And funny enough, in the championship, it was just teammates from the same team playing against each other because the coach had put together like one squad at first that my son was part of, the first squad. And then I guess they had the tournament people had another slot open for another team. So the coach just picked 5 more people from the team and put them on a separate team and threw them in a bracket. And then it just so happened that both of his 5-on-5 teams came together to clash in the championship or whatever. And then my son's group from that team won. Now the insane thing, and I was saying this the other day, I'm like, kids these days get so much dope stuff. So first of all, for winning the tournament, each of the players got $50 cash, a $50 bill. And then on top of that, my son got tournament MVP. Now this tournament had both middle school and high school kids. So out of all of them, middle school and high school, my son in 7th grade got MVP of the whole thing. And so he got 2 food gift cards, I think like to Chick-fil-A and some other food place. And they freaking gave him a 32-inch TV. Like, yo, what is this? Like, won the tournament, MVP gets a TV. This is like some TV type of stuff, well, literally TV type of stuff. But so super proud of him on that. And then his other team that we've been doing traveling stuff with or whatever. He played with them. They won that game as well. So he got another medal and stuff for that. So all in all, dope weekend for him. My daughter that does basketball, she did really dope too. In her game, they won that. I think that was, what was that, Saturday? No, that was Sunday night. So they did super awesome in that game. I'm super proud of her and that group coming together and stuff. But yeah, so all in all, things are going really good on that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Vash has been obsessed with pirates for some reason. Don't know. It's been funny, like during getting ready for bath time and stuff. He when he's like, taking his stuff off, whatever, he has like his like shirt kind of like halfway hanging off of his head, and he's like, "Dada, I'm on a pirate ship." I'm like, "What? Pirate ship?" I'm like, "Okay, son." And then something else he started doing, which I don't know what cartoon or whatever he got this from, but he'll be laying in my bed and he'll do one of these numbers with his hands behind his head, and he's like, "Dada, I'm on beach." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dada, I'm at the beach." I'm like, "Okay, son. Well, all right, we on the beach, okay." And then my middle son, he's continuing his journey through One Piece. I can't remember if I've ever brought that up on the show yet or whatever, but this is my middle boy is the one that actually watches anime and stuff, and so he's been going through One Piece. Where did he say that he was at? I think he said he was in Arlong Park the other day. But he's also been playing some game, which I don't know if it might be something within Roblox or something, whatever, that they've done something One Piece related or whatever. So of course he's learning about all these moves and abilities and techniques and stuff, whatever, and characters and devil fruits and stuff, whatever. And he's asking me about stuff, and some of it I'm trying not to spoil it. I'm just being like, that is something that is like way later in the future of the series. Like he's asking me about the sun god and raid suits and different types of hockey, and I am like, time out. You getting ahead of the game, young buck. But it's been fun having those conversations and stuff with him about that stuff. So but yeah, but all in all, life and family is good. Trying to think of, nothing else too much going on that front or whatever. So kind of dive into a little bit of news and a little bit of like what I've been playing and different things like that or whatever. I guess I'll touch on briefly since I haven't done too much of this, but gaming wise, I freaking played the Diablo 4 beta, which surprised me because I have never really played Diablo. So, I didn't really have too much to go off of. Oops, excuse me, y'all. Too much to kind of go off of, whatever. I had like a general idea of obviously what Diablo is, and of course I've seen some gameplay and stuff of it or whatever, but I've never actually, played it myself. But it was super dope. It was super fun to play. I'm trying to see if I can find my character from the game. I don't know if I have it. But while I'm looking for that, so I played the barbarian. No. The druid. Yeah. I played the druid class. And those of y'all watching the video version, this is what what my dude looks like in the game. big husky black dude, big mountain man beard with dreads tied up in like a little bun or whatever, or like just tied up in the top of a little a knot. Um, but it was so freaking fun. I played maybe like a couple of hours of it, and once I kind of learned the flow of the game and actually how to use my abilities and skills, that's when I really had fun playing it or whatever. Because I played through the first dungeon and I was just kind of like, but I was only playing through it just using my axe or whatever melee weapon I had, and I'm like, this is okay, but man, there's got to be more to this, whatever. And then once I finished that dungeon and I got out, and I was just like finally looking through the menus, and I saw, oh, you have 5 skill points to use, and that's when I found the skill tree and all the abilities and stuff, whatever. And so I was kind of like leaning towards, there was a couple of abilities I really like. One was kind of like I'm calling it kind of like a earth bending type of thing, where you're just kind of like summoning stone pillars and stuff, whatever, out of the ground, hitting enemies at a distance. And then I had another technique where I transformed into a werewolf and you was like clawing people and stuff. And I was looking through the skill tree. There was like another skill where you can turn into like a freaking big grizzly bear. There was one to where every time you swing your sword, like lightning will strike the area. It was all types of really dope abilities and stuff for that class. I'm like, man, dude, do I need to pick up Diablo this summer when it drop in June? So I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But I'll just say that I was happy with my time playing it. And funny enough, I didn't realize until after I finished playing or whatever that I was freaking playing on hardcore mode. Which I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that's why that one section was getting a little bit tough, whatever. But your boy powered through, whatever. But yeah, so Diablo 4 was very good. I didn't really play too many. I didn't really play any of the games now that I'm like really thinking about it. But I kind of want to do some cleanup of some of these smaller games or things that I know I'm close to the end of, like Hogwarts Legacy and Hi-Fi Rush and Season and different stuff like that before the end of April, because Star Wars Jedi Survivor is coming at the end of April, and I want to try to have my plate cleared off for that game because it's looking really dope and stuff. So, but we'll see if my schedule will be kind and free me for a bit. But yeah, so that's the stuff I'm playing, watching, and of course there's not gonna be no spoilers, nothing here. But I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember. Did I watch that before my last podcast episode, or sorry, I'm trying to. I'm guessing. I think I already talked about it, but I had. Okay, yeah. That was last episode where I talked about watch all of You season 4, and they announced this season 5, which will be the final season coming next year. What other stuff gaming wise? Yeah, and I guess I'll kind of toss in this little bit of like gaming news a little bit here, but there was some rumors and maybe a little bit of confirmation that there is going to be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game based off of the comic line, the Last Ronin. Now I haven't read it myself, but I plan on reading it. Let me just minimize that because I'm not trying to get myself spoiled. But I'm planning on, and maybe by the time y'all are hearing this, I would have already gone by Barnes and Noble somewhere and picked up the comic. But basically, it is a very dark story for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, to where all of the Ninja Turtles are dead except for one. The mystery, of course, is who is that? Who is which of the four turtles? Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. Which of them is the one that lived? And whichever one that lived, he has now mastered all four of the weapons as well. And so he is basically on a revenge journey to avenge his brothers and whatever other stuff happened. So they're apparently making a third person action RPG game based off of that comic. But of course, right now it's just kind of rumors. But right now we don't know who the studio that's working on it is or anything else. So we'll see. But I'm very excited about that, and I definitely want to try to get on that and read that as soon as possible. Maybe I might pick it up and try to knock it out this weekend, because I really want to read it and experience it spoiler free to learn which of the turtles it was and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that game is in development. I believe I don't think I mentioned this last episode, but the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League game got delayed, and maybe I didn't talk about that or whatever. But if I didn't, hey, it's getting delayed. I'm trying to think, did something else get delayed? No, but one thing we saw the other day, Nintendo did a gameplay presentation for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I never finished Breath of the Wild, but that's definitely not because I didn't like it or nothing crazy like that. It was just I just fell off of it. Plus, my wife kind of took over my Switch at the time. But man, the stuff that they were showing off in this trailer looked freaking amazing. They were showing off this freaking fuse thing where, let me see, where you can fuse different items together, whatever. You can fuse a freaking tree branch with a boulder to create a new weapon. You can fuse logs together with this fan thing to make a boat or a flying machine. You can fuse an eyeball to an arrow to make homing arrows. And it was just like so many dope things with the variety of how that's gonna work. They showed how like you on the different sky islands and stuff, and yeah, it was just so much dope looking stuff that they were showing that I am like, man, this looks like it's gonna be a fun sandbox. Which I don't know, that might be one to where it might just be more fun for me to just watch all the crazy stuff that people are gonna do. But who knows? Maybe if your boy has some pocket change, when this comes out in the middle of May, maybe I'll pick it up and play around with it or whatever. But we'll see. But yeah, so that game still looks very dope, very fantastic. I'm trying to think, was there any other big game specific news or anything? No, I don't think so. One thing I definitely wanted to touch on is let me see if I can find it. But basically the unfortunate news, and it's already been a couple of weeks now, whatever. I still wanted to touch on it, of the actor Lance Reddick passing away. Now, for those who might not remember, Lance Reddick was both a regular TV and movie actor, but he was also a voice actor in video games and stuff. And of course, the main things that I have seen or watched or played that he is in is he is of course a detective in the HBO series The Wire. Of course, he is a big mainstay character in the John Wick movies, which John Wick 4 just came out recently, which I plan on hopefully going to see in the coming weeks and stuff. Gaming wise, he is Silence in the Horizon series. So Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. I still haven't finished Forbidden West, so I don't know where his character and stuff is, but I don't know how it's going to be tough to see like how they're going to try to, you know, figure that out with the game world, especially in a situation like this where the character looks just like him. It is modeled after him, and of course, the other big one in the Destiny series, he is Commander Zavala, and he also not only did he voice a main character in the game, but Lance Reddick also loved playing Destiny, and so it was just really dope just seeing like the outpour of love and support from the gaming community of all these images of people logging into Destiny, going to the tower, and trying to pay their respects to the actor and his work. So, but yeah, very very sad and unfortunate news of his passing at only the age of 60. Very very sad. But trying to think. Yeah, I don't think there's nothing else that other type of news wise. Now let me see. Anime wise, let me scroll through this giant list. um. Oh yeah, so today it was announced that there is going to be a freaking Scott Pilgrim Saves the World anime, and it seems like the entire cast of the anime will be back to voice their characters in the anime and stuff. So that is very dope. That is happening. I'm trying to see is there anything else like noteworthy to mention. Bungo Stray Dogs season 5 not only got announced, but it's coming this July. I haven't even started season 4 because heck, I don't remember if I even watched season 3. So they got their foot on the gas. And they are just marching straight ahead with that series. So, but more power to them. I'm happy to see that's still going on. Let me see. I don't need to talk about all these trailers and stuff that they showed. Let me see. Trying to see, because over the weekend, the reason why there was so much news this last week was because there was an event called Anime Japan that happened over last weekend. So a lot of stuff got announced and stuff. Like they announced the season 2 of Blue Lock along with a movie. A new season of Devil as a Part-Timer. Yeah, High Card is getting a season 2. Jobless Reincarnation is coming out in July. The next season of Spy Family is coming in October, along with the movie coming in December. So it was just so much stuff. Yeah, those are kind of the main ones I wanted to touch on. Like I said, of course, My Hero Academia season 7 got officially announced. After that fantastic final episode of season 6 of My Hero, and freaking seeing Star show up. That was a super dope moment. Man, she looked freaking fantastic in the anime. So excited for that. Undead Unluck season anime is coming in October. Goblin Slayer season 2 sometime this year. ReZero season 3 is coming at some point. I think that might be it. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's it for like the main stuff I wanted to touch on. Yeah, nothing else too much, whatever. So, but yeah. So all in all that stuff is very dope. Let me see. Trying to think, because like I said, like I pretty much gave all my time and energy for the most part to Space Brothers. Let me see. So okay, so last little thing, I'll kind of touch on some stuff I've been reading a little bit. So I caught up on. Oh, and this is perfect timing because it just recently had its 1 year anniversary, and Kodansha finally announced the English license for Gachi Akuda. So I caught up on that today because I was like 12 chapters behind. I was last on chapter 37, and so chapter 49 is the most recent chapter. So I binge read all of those. Man, the I can't remember her name because I'm still trying to learn these characters and stuff. But what is her name? What is her name? I literally just posted it a while ago. Huh. My post is missing. That is very weird. But anywho, that was a very dope, fun read. Catching up on Gachi Akuda. Like I said, I'm glad that that Kodansha finally is bringing it out in English, and it's coming out later this year in the fall time. So very exciting news for that front. One more gaming news thing I forgot to mention a while ago. E3 officially got canceled earlier today, so that's not going to be happening. But let me see. Is there anything else? Let me see. Gachi Akuda. Caught up on Blood on the Tracks. Don't. It's just always some weird stuff going on with Blood on the Tracks. Still a solid read, but just always some weird stuff going on. I feel like there was something else I have read. I haven't actually read much physical manga lately. A Man's Man webtoon is still dope and going strong. Solo Leveling anime is coming out winter of next year, so January. So that's very dope. The Solo Leveling finally got at least a season dated for it. And the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins, man, they just keep on twists and turns, and every time you think, okay, all right, I kind of see where they're going with this, and nope, hard pivot and cut to the basket. Because the stuff that was revealed in, because I was 2 chapters behind, so the stuff that was revealed recently about like what is really going on seemingly was wild. But I'm probably gonna wait until after the next chapter come out this weekend, and then maybe I'll share my thoughts on that once we get a little bit more context to the situation and stuff. So, but yeah, so that continues to be good and surprising. And then I'm trying to think. My Hero Academia manga is just Wild West. That craziness is still going on. I'm like really curious like how much longer it has, because the way this climax is building up, whatever. I wouldn't be, because we're about to start and we're about to enter April, so I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the summer, maybe My Hero will be done. I don't know. We'll see. Big thing. One Piece. And I'm gonna put a timestamp for this one, but so that situation is wild. Oof. Yeah, see, I can tell I ain't doing this in a minute, man. Coughing. My voice isn't used to me talking for this long period of time anymore. But really quickly with One Piece, we finally get to see Shanks in action, and we see somebody from Blackbeard's crew is about to pull up on Egghead, and so it just, the chaos is just continuing to build. But with the Shanks thing, man, seeing him use Roger's move, Divine Departure, and then the Giants using the Ikaku Sovereign, and just blasting away the kid pirates and stuff. All that stuff looks super dope. Um, and man, honestly, with the insanity of this arc, to where we are seeing things that we have waited years and years to see. We finally got to see Vegapunk, and we're dealing with stuff with Elbaf. We're actually seeing Shanks doing stuff, and so, and you know, the stuff with Kuma and his memories, and Kuma going back to the Red Line and all this stuff, whatever. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that we might see Dragon also do something very soon, because I'm like, okay, it's wild enough that any one of these things, like I said, we're seeing Dr. Vegapunk, we're seeing Shanks do stuff, we're seeing stuff with Elbaf, we're seeing one of the five elders leave the room he's on the go and stuff, whatever. We've seen Green Bull in action, and it's like, okay, the stuff of legends, the stuff of dreams is happening. So it's like, okay, is Dragon gonna be the next that we see actually doing something, get to actually learn what he can do and stuff, whatever. So I'm very excited. One Piece has just been fantastic since we got out of Wano, and just getting to see all the stuff happening around the world. It's kind of like all leading towards Egghead and the stuff with Luffy and them and Vegapunk and stuff, whatever. It is seeming to set up for something insane with this next chapter or in the coming chapters and stuff. So, but yeah. So One Piece, good. And let me take one final look through my feed to see if there's anything else I want to touch on before we get out of here. Okay, yeah. So there is no other news or headlines I want to touch on. But before I get out of here, I do want to say I think I am kind of a I'm just gonna just chill on, which I already been good on doing anyways or whatever. But I think I'm about to go back into a no more buying manga for a while phase. Just because I have other things I need to prioritize and put my money into. And especially because I keep, you keep buying, knowing good and well you're not gonna read it anytime soon. So it's like, why are you buying it now when you can just get it later? Like I said, of course, unless it's like a rare find or a series that aren't just gonna have copies that are always gonna be there. Like certain series, okay, I can easily find or order online a copy of this, and some series is like, okay, no, I gotta get this while I can. So but other than that, like I said, y'all be on the lookout in the coming weeks, hopefully, maybe sooner. I really want to do something with Space Brothers, but I want to take my time and do it well, just because, like I mentioned, I know that this is a series that isn't too widely known, but I think I kind of have perfect timing on it, because with me just now watching the anime, and then after I do whatever I'm going to do with the review discussion thing, I'm going to start the manga, because the manga I know is on its final stretch. And so that'd be kind of an awesome 1-2 punch. And even though I'm not the biggest creator in the world, but I also know the power of my voice to, if I can even get one person, 5 people to check out this anime, maybe even check out the manga or something, whatever, then I'll consider that a W. Because I always like to try to put people onto more lesser known things, kind of like last year's similar situation, kind of a really similar situation with Kaiji, the ultimate gambler, or however it might be, gambling apocalypse. Because I know that's another beloved series that also doesn't get much talk and stuff, whatever. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be the plan. And I'm also still just trying to figure out how I want to handle the podcasts and stuff going forward. Like I said, for the time being, I'm still just gonna continue to do how I'm doing now, which is just recording when I can, every couple of weeks, every few weeks, whatever. But nothing set in stone or whatever, which I'm kind of liking, because, like I mentioned earlier, my schedule is so freaking busy to where it's like there's little time to take a break, and I don't want to use every free time. Okay, I finally have a day off from life and family stuff. All right, now let's record. So I definitely don't want to get stuck in doing that or whatever. So I just kind of will just let this sit, and then whenever y'all get episodes and stuff, whatever, y'all will get them and stuff. But I know everybody out there understands how busy and stuff I am, and just life happening and stuff, whatever. But just know that your boy is good, and I'll get around to all the manga and stuff, whatever, eventually at some point. So it doesn't have to be today or tomorrow, but someday I'll get to them. So, but with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Happy I was able to knock this out in under an hour. And it's 11:11 p.m. right now too, so perfect timing to end this on. So thank you so much for watching or listening. Y'all know you can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. And if you're watching the video version of this, thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed over on the YouTube channel. Or if you're audio only, make sure you subscribe to me on whatever audio device or audio platform, whether it's Spotify, etc., Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, yada, yada, yada. Find me and listen and show your boy some love. But I greatly appreciate everybody out there. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all. So with that being said, Lord. It's been a moment. I was like, wait, how do I end this? But as I always say, treat yourself to something nice. Read some manga. Watch some anime and TV. Play some video games. And live your best life, because you only get one. And so live it how you want to live it. Read, watch, play the things that you want to read, watch, and play. And just do you. And with that, your boy is out. Y'all have an awesome day and or weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.